It's gonna be a hard hood no matter what. Working on one of the hardest hoods that I've done this entire year. Getting ready to set up a plan to take care of this because obviously this is not the type of hood that you ever run into. Never done one like this in all the years that I've wrapped. There's a lot going on here. Vents, more vents, 10,000 more vents on the side. Cool thing about this one though is that the owner wants to kind of keep these so I won't have to wrap into them. Still gonna be tricky. And this hood is shaped pretty crazy, goes all the way down. So that's gonna be a trick there. I'm also a little bit worried because when I was touching the hood, it feels like it's been maybe waxed or something. I want to make sure that the film actually sticks to this. So I sprayed some liquids that I have here that should help with that. I did also clay bar, so that should help. So it is going to be tricky. I did tell the owner, actually he told me that he wanted to keep this vent here. That's going to make things a little bit easier on my end. He told me to decide what I do with this one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it all the way in. Put an inlay here, another inlay on the inside. These he's going to keep. He's going to put some knifeless around this edge. I'm going to do the same thing for this one since they match. Because if you do wrap into them, they look like they're doable. But if I do them, there's a higher chance of failure, and we don't want that. We don't want the customer having issues. That's going to be the best way to go about it. This here in the middle doesn't look too crazy, but it does have a dip. 3M 2080 is what we're going to be using, and that film will show any type of imperfection. So anytime you mess up, it's going to show it and you won't be able to fix it. We're going to have to be super careful when I lay this. I'm going to wipe it down, start laying some of these inlays before I lay that big piece. To do are these seams here, or inlays as you can call them. Instead of me laying one big old sheet and just stretching it into these curves, I have a piece here that will relieve a lot of that tension. You never have any bubbling along these lines. It looks super clean as long as you run it through these body lines. Try to run it on these lines to hide it, and it makes your wrap last longer. When I first started, I used to think that everything you wrap must be in one piece and one piece only, and if you don't do it in one piece, then you suck. Once I actually started doing it for real, I learned that piecing up stuff sometimes is better, lasts longer. You'll never have customers coming back for a failing material. So I lay it exactly where I want that line to be cut. This here, I feel like takes forever because it's super detailed work. A lot of times I tell people that setting up the piece that you're wrapping takes longer than actually wrapping it. Even when it comes to just cleaning it, it takes me longer to clean it than to actually wrap it. This one here is gonna take long to set and wrap because of how crazy it's shaped. If anybody can do it, it's gotta be me. We're about to see, we're about to see. Instead of using the heat gun like most people, the first thing you do is heat it, stretch. What I try to do is use relief cuts instead of a heat gun. The less heat you use sometimes, the better. When it comes to this hood, we are gonna use some heat to make it happen. All right, so this is gonna be the first string we pull. Gotta be careful. I really like this tape because you can literally set it exactly where you want to cut, and you don't have to use your blade on the paint. You use that tape so that you can do cuts like this instead of me running the blade on the paint. So this side is ready. I still got to do that other side. This is going to take like 10,000 years. After I do this, I'm gonna have to lay a knifeless here, knifeless there. When I lay that big piece, I gotta be able to cut these pieces out, these little triangles that I made. There is no body line right here. I'm not happy with it. And on top of that, I can't run a single tape because then I'm not gonna have where to pull it from once I lay a big piece over it. There has to be 2 tapes. That'll do it. Yeah, after 200 tries, made it happen. All right, so what? It's been like 2 hours at least, and I still haven't even laid the big piece yet. Prepping this thing takes forever. But I still got 2 pieces left. After that is the fun part. You're laying the big piece. It's taking some work, but it's gonna look nice. So once I'm finished with this, can't wait to show it to you guys. After like 200,000 years of laying tape, we're finally ready to go and lay that big piece. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure how much I need because this one is shaped pretty crazy. I think it's doable with 60 inches. If not, that's gonna become a whole different problem there. The roll is made by 60 inches by however many feet you need. So I'm hoping that this is 60. It doesn't have to be perfect, just getting an idea. We're good to go. 60 would be all the way down there, so we have more than enough. Penny on the other side. Just to be sure, I don't wanna cut too short and then create a new problem. Definitely over 7 feet. I normally try to give it 4 inches at least. We're good there. Let's go. If we mess up, I'm blaming it on Kenny. This is a big old. You could probably do 2 regular hooks with this. Try to center it. Make sure you got some on the side. You good there? You good? And make sure we got some on the front. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and tack it up here on the windshield. I normally do that on most hoods so that whenever I peel the rest of the backing, the entire thing doesn't go flying that way. But once I know it's tacked down up there, then I can come back and peel the rest of it. Even though you tack it on there, sometimes when we pull, it could still come flying this way. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We're just gonna put some tension on here, not too crazy. Just enough for it to kind of flatten out on the middle section. You see how flat it looks on there? That's how we want it. So our goal is to get this pretty much as nice as it looks right there. That there is perfect. And then I'll start working my way out to the sides. These sections here are gonna be the difficult and tricky ones, but I normally start on the middle. So it's a gloss wrap. I always wet my squeegee, and of course, squeegee lube from Off Wrap. I always use this. I use the squeegee lube so that whenever I'm squeegeeing, it makes the squeegee glide a lot easier. Super smooth. You see how smooth this is going? And that's because of that squeegee lube. New product by Off Wrap. Everything is going down as smooth as we start, but we haven't gotten to the difficult part yet. Basically as going as we can, but I didn't expect this to work on the first try, so there's a good chance I'm gonna rip this off and start again. But I'm not gonna start trimming unless I'm happy with it. What bothers me is this. Like very light, but I still see it. But I mean, it works. I'm just not happy with this here. Like you can barely see it, but I kind of feel like I want to give it another try. I'm pretty sure it got sanding from lifting it, even though we just wasted 8 feet. It's gonna be a harder hood no matter what. Big reason why I peeled it off because it has sanding, and sanding is those little dots that kind of show on there from certain angles. It looks like dirt, but it's not dirt. It's actually the glue itself that whenever it rubs on maybe high points of the hood, it turns into little balls that look like you left dirt on there. We don't like those. They tend to happen with this type of film a lot more than other. That's just one of the downsides to this film sometimes. We're just gonna go ahead and try it again and see if we can do a better job. If not, we're gonna try again and again and again until we get it. I want it to be as close to perfect or perfect as possible. So yeah. Static. This time I'm gonna go ahead and install it slightly different, hopefully get better results. We almost had it the first time, but I feel like we could do a little bit better. Let's go ahead and make it happen. So this time, instead of taking the entire thing off, probably like maybe right there. Where's my squeegee lube at? Which one should I do first? Maybe this one. Cutting with my blade facing upwards, right here where there's nothing. Because I know this section here we're not going to use. This should allow me to find my knifeless. There we see one now, right there. Goes the first one. Boom, straight line. This is where things get a little bit tricky. Right there. Now I should have two more up here, which were the hard one. Yeah. Man, that looks good. Even though it is super difficult to make it happen, this thing looks crazy. I like that. Red with that carbon looks perfect. Kind of taking some of this protective cap off so it doesn't bother me or mess anything up. All right, let's figure this one out. I think I have 4 tapes in here. A lot of knifeless tape work here, so that's what takes time. Be super patient. Up next, I guess I'll take care of this one. Find out where those knifeless. Five hours in, it's time to go home almost. And we still gotta finish up the edges. Got Kenny here working on them, but overall, we're almost there. It's a good accent on there. I like that. We're almost done with the hood. Kenny's taking care of it. This hood looks super clean with these accents on there. I really love the idea that the customer had to keep that carbon fiber on there with the red. It is perfect. After this, put the car back together. I got my boy Jose coming through. He's gonna put everything back. Everything we took off goes right back on the car. Every single time we do vehicle wraps, we always disassemble, get the best coverage, the best quality wraps on here. Last thing we got is to ceramic coat it. Super easy for you to wash your car, and it also helps protect the wrap so it can last longer. I recommend it on every single wrap you do. Cool thing is that on gloss colors, it makes it even shinier. So if you think this is shiny, wait till you see it ceramic coated. I'll be dropping a video on that. For those that want to bring us your vehicles to get wrapped, make sure to check us out at jthewrapspecialist.com. We also have info on there for those that want to learn how to wrap. We have in-person options and online options. So online, you can see a lot of instructional videos showing you how to wrap each and every single piece of a vehicle, and we're always adding new content. So stay tuned for that. Check it out.